Hey guys, JJ here, back with a Wednesday of Zoom networking. Thank you for joining us. My name is JJ Azizian, and today we're going to be talking about social media presence and being visible. Why is that important? Got a whole bunch of people on the call right now, and we'll be taking questions through the call. If you guys are just watching on YouTube right now, come join us. Scan this QR code, join my group, be a part of what we're doing. Um, Social media presence, why is that important? People do business with people that are just like them, right? We're not as likely to do business with people that have nothing at all like us. People work with and help people that they know, like, and trust. There's a young man, Pace Morby, that says that all the time: know, like, and trust. People will not trust you if they do not like you. If I don't like someone, I am not trusting them, flat out. Um, for them to trust you, they need to like you. For them to like you, they need to know you. For them to know you, you have to be visible on social media. If you're not visible on social media, the opportunity for assistance walks right past you. And what
Yep.
opportunity I'm talking about? The opportunity, we're in an educational community. Many of us are in a paid educational community. Some of us are in free communities. Pace Warby has a group called Creative Real Estate with Pace Warby. It's a free community of about 120,000. There's a number of communities out there, but that's an example of one of them. Um, what you want to do as a real estate investor is you want to get the help of other people. The success of your business is predicated by the five or six people you engage with the most. We want to build relationships with successful investors. We become the sum of the five or six people we engage with the most, and that means friendships. Why is that important? Because people are going to help you if they're friend more than if you're not their friend, right? We only have so much time to help people, so the people that are more likely to get help from successful investors are the people that become their friends. All right, and how do we become friends with people? As we build rapport. How do we build rapport? We build rapport by discovering commonality. I go to your page, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your social media presence to see how you present yourself, because that's going to indicate to me what we have in common with one another. I will post on my page the things that make me who I am, so that you will see when you come to my page what I have in common with you. These are things simple as: where do I live? Where am I from? What education group am I with? Where did you go to high school? Did you go to secondary education, junior college, college, university? If you did, put that down. When they come to your Facebook page, do you have your Instagram link up there? Do you have your LinkedIn link up there? Can people see your socials? If you're a real estate investor and you have an LLC, do you have a business page for your LLC? A Facebook business page for your LLC? Down in the website links, you can actually put your website. You can put your blank, although I hate blank. You can put your blank in there. You can put your Calendly. You can put your website link. But you could basically fill your Facebook page with your social media presence. And let me give you an example. Here's my personal Facebook page. You always want to have something on your cover photo that relates to who you are and what you're doing. And in general, specifically, I'm referring to the acronym FORD. You want to post about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. This is about work. This pertains to occupation. Some of us are full-time investors. Some of us are part-time investors, but you want to post about real estate. When it comes into your profile, you want to have your name and your face. You want to have name face recognition. You don't want to have your face standing in the distance behind the car, behind an elephant, one of five different people in the photo, making people guess who you are. You don't want to be standing in the distance wearing a nice suit and pants and shoes. And people don't care what your pants and shoes look like. They want to see your face. Your photo and your profile photo should be like a company ID badge, a company business card. In your page, right down your intro, well, the first part's called the bio. And in the bio here, you're actually, if I pull this out, you have 101 characters. You're limited to that, but you can put things in there like the link to your website. Are you a real estate investor? I've got my website for my business, Always Capital. Yes, I'm a lender. We just had a deal maker event, which is actually terminated, so I could probably come in here and remove that because the deal maker event's over. And so that's gonna update um it's gonna update my bio. But in here at Beechwood Home Solutions is my acquisition company for my LLC. I have some places I used to work at: Bank of America, Lowe's Home Improvement, Universal Studios. Other people may go, hey, oh, I work for that company. I know that company. This is now commonality. I started off after college with Hughes Aircraft Company, but when it comes to my education, my most recent education, I'm studying Sub 2 Creative Finance, Creative Real Estate at Pace Morby. A lot of people in my group reporting to studying networking branding at JJ Azizian. Again, having the name and face of the individual on your page. I'm in Amy Majori's Raising Private Money program. Thus, I have Amy Majori. Carl Allen's Protege program. I've got Carl Allen's face on my page. If you're in Gator method, studying Gator, you're not in Sub 2, but you're in Gator, but put says Gator method at Pace Morby. If you're in Gator but not in Sub 2, you still want to fly that Sub 2 logo. But hey, I'm studying, creative real estate at Pace Morby. Things like your secondary education. I went to a small school in LA called USC, University of Southern California. There's a small football school on the West Coast. Um, but a lot of people in Southern California, it's a big name in Southern California. I have my high school, Notre Dame High School, another high school, Hollywood High School. Yes, Hollywood High School. Carol Burnett went there. John Ritter went there. A number of people. But I live in Los Angeles. I'm from Chicago. I have the Instagram link for my business. I have my personal Instagram. I have my Instagram, my LinkedIn, have my YouTube channel. And I have a number of links. And part of these links, guys, is you can have your last name be actually in the URL for your LinkedIn, for your Facebook, for your Instagram. There's some other things on it. For me, I put my personal Zoom link on here for people that want to get on a Zoom call. So you never have to ask, what's your Zoom link, JJ? It's right here. So this is how you want to build out your social media presence. But again, people do business with people that are just like them. So you need to let people know that you are just like them. Hey, welcome to the call, my friend. What's your question?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I like to understand things from a like POV standpoint, a point of view standpoint. For you, what would you say building a brand and being present on this social media space? What would you say the biggest benefits as that it has brought to your business or to your life so far?
People do business with people they know. If they don't know you, they're not going to do business with you, right? 90% of any group is invisible on social media, right? We're both in sub two. You and I are both in sub two. 90% of the community, whether it's Owners Club, whether it's Gator, whether it's Sub 2, they're invisible. Doesn't mean they're doing the work. They're doing the videos, the curriculum, the studying, fire hose of information. They're doing the daily dial. They're in the vault. They're doing the Kajabi, the Discord. They're going to the live events, but they're not leveraging social media to be visible so the community as a whole sees who they are. Does that make sense? What we want is the help of the rock stars. But if we don't step out of the bottom 90% of the invisible people and become part of the 10% of the visible people, no one will know who we are. Does this make sense? So if one, you or anybody else does the things that I'm teaching, and I say for free, people will now know your name and your face before they ever hear your voice, before they ever shake your hand. Oh my gosh. That's Heritage Adoye. Oh my, I know him. He's on my face. I see him all the time. Your name and your face precedes you. When your name and your face precedes you consistently is when your name becomes your brand, your face becomes your brand. When your name and face become your brand, my friend, opportunity comes to you. Now, do you want an example of how this has benefited me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've been in this game for 8 years now. And there are three guys that I met when I was brand spanking new 8 years ago. And I was a brand new student sitting in the audience with amongst thousands of people watching really experienced, knowledgeable people speak. Well, as I made myself more and more visible, these people got to know who I was. I met a young man 8 years ago that was also a brand new investor from the East Coast because I live in Los Angeles. He became aware of me. We were introduced by a third party. We became aware of one another. But as time went by, everyone knew my name. Everyone knew my face. So for the last 5 years, I've been hosting Zoom calls. I've hosted over 500 Zoom calls. I've got 350 interviews on my YouTube channel. But these three guys have grown more and more successful, and they've decided to start a fund, 10 to $20 million fund. They've decided to start a lending company. And in their plan and their strategy to develop this company, they said we need someone to help us to market our company, someone who's visible. We need to bring someone on board to join us to help us grow. And they said amongst themselves, who is the most visible person in the country that we could bring on to help us grow? And all three of them said JJ. So now I own a lending company. Now I own a 10 to $20 million fund. That happened not because I went and sought it out, not because I went and looked at it, it's because I made myself visible on the landscape. Everybody knew my name, and other people came to me and said, "Hey, we'd like you to join us in what we're doing." Now that blows my mind, but I can't come up with a better example. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brother, you have your own group now, right? You are yourself teaching networking. I would like to help you to learn all the things I'm teaching so you could teach others. So we could build your visibility. I'm not going to be on the scarcity mindset. I'm not going to help other people. I don't want them to become more successful than me. No, brother, I want to help you grow. So you come back to me. Let's work together. Let me help build you so that you can become strong and powerful. And by that, we can both go together.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, my friend. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on, man. Over and stay in touch with me, okay? Talking about social media presence, what's important is, we hear it all the time, your network is your net worth. If you don't have a network, you don't have a business, flat out. What you need to learn how to do is how to network with intention. You don't walk into a room of people and just sit there and stand around. We had a big event here in Southern California this past weekend. We had investors from all over the country. We had a young lady here named Carmelita Keith out of the East Coast, and oh my God, was she killing it! She was working the room like a politician, shaking babies and kissing hands. And you see the successful investors are the people that actually make themselves visible, and that's an example. Is to network with intention. Dean Edsel, Dean, you're on with JJ. What's your question, my friend?
Thank you. I just heard you earlier say something about El Segundo and Hughes Aircraft. Did you work for Hughes Aircraft? Is
I
that in
work
your
for
book?
I work for Hughes Aircraft out of college. I went to USC, got my business degree.
Ooh,
Should have been on the football team, believe it or not. I didn't realize that until I was a senior. And all the guys said, "How come you're on the football team?" Um, but yeah, I got my
that's
business degree from USC, and I shortly thereafter worked for Hughes Aircraft Company. Was there
yeah.
for several years. Youngest supervisor in history of Hughes Aircraft Company, youngest senior staff administrator, a number of other accolades. But you know,
My father was 31 years at Hughes Aircraft,
there
sorry,
you
and
go.
I only got 4 years, and they started laying off thousands of people,
Yeah, that
including
was
me.
that. Yep, yeah. I was part of those thousands of people once upon a time.
Always at Thanksgiving and Christmas is when their routine of laying off was.
Yeah. So you know,
Thank you. Thank you.
is that it, my friend?
That was it. I heard something earlier when you were going over your Facebook thing about Hughes Aircraft, and I thought, oh my God, talk about coincidence. So,
Well, and again, Steve, I put things on there that bring commonality,
yes.
right? If you
Yeah.
don't put that on your page, people don't know. Where have you
Well,
worked before? Where have you
yeah.
gone to school? Oh my God, your Instagram page, your LinkedIn page, but your Facebook page, your social media presence is your digital business card to the world.
Yes. Yes.
So build that out. Let me help you. Let's get your Facebook page up and running and help you build your network through my network so that my friends become your friends so that we can give you a base of support.
Yes, sir. I agree.
All righty, my friend. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
We have the great John Neuendorfer on, uh, actor, dancer, you know, all around great guy. John, how you doing, brother? What's up?
Doing well. Yes, my question, you mentioned that you've been at this for 8 years or so,
Yeah,
and I was wondering, the JJ today, looking back at the JJ 8 years ago, what was the biggest hurdle you had to overcome, and what advice would you give that JJ to expedite the path to get where you are now?
that's a great question. Um, the the biggest hurdle I had to overcome was learning how to use social media. And I'm still facing that every single day. Um, we've got a young man in our group named Sunny Sukumar who has done something like 200 videos in the last 4 months. Sunny's killing it. But what I noticed is he's putting captions on his Instagram videos and things. And I'm an old dog. I didn't grow up with computers. I didn't grow up with smartphones, so I'm learning all this stuff every step of the way. But learning, the quicker you can get, the quicker that one can get involved in learning how to leverage social media, learning how to leverage Instagram, learning how to leverage LinkedIn. TikTok is a platform I haven't tapped into yet. We got to ask Carmelita about TikTok. She's the TikTok queen. But yeah, learning how to post, learning how to not care about what other people think, but put yourself out there. If people don't like you, it means they know you. I'd rather have them know me and not like me than not know me. You don't market your business, you market yourself. So I would suggest to anybody start posting. As I said before, 90% of the population is not visible. You need to be part of the 10%. Until you become part of the 10%, nobody knows who you are. So post, comment. When you post, ask a question with your post to drive engagement. When you post, add a photo, add a GIF image. Just don't post words up there. But being visible, if you're not visible, you're invisible, and opportunity walks right past you. So the number one thing, I'd say be visible. Be memorable or you're forgettable. But put your face out there at every single opportunity.
Be memorable.
There you go.
Love
So,
that one.
John, does that answer your question?
It sure does. Yes. Thank you, JJ.
Yeah, and for you and William, you guys are twins, brother. Get out there together. Oh my God, people love twins. You guys should be visible, talking, looking at one another. Get out there, market the heck out of yourselves. Charlie and Junie, the same thing. The Ruiz twins. The four of you guys should be killing it right now.
That's good advice.
That's what I would say. Be visible. Be visible. Be visible. Be visible. All right, my brother. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Money Rob, Rob, how you doing, brother? What's up?
Hey, JJ, how's it going, man?
Great, brother.
Hey, so I just have a couple of questions, off track, man, because your group and you have just done a world for me, and you know me, man. I like posting a lot of affirmations.
Yeah.
But let me ask you, I mean, who was the first, or what was the first like affirmation that came into your life when it came to promoting yourself, making yourself more visible? Is there something that comes to mind?
Affirmation, brother. Help me out with that. Give me a little bit clearer definition about what affirmation.
Well, meaning, well, I guess maybe not affirmation, but what motivated you?
What motivated me is I needed help. I needed help. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just knew that I wasn't going to get it on my own. And if I was going to get anywhere, I was going to get anywhere by getting successful people to help me. And they're not going to help me if they don't know me. They're not going to help me if I'm not visible. And I just knew that I needed to leverage a community. And first it was posting, it was using GIF images, and then it was taking pictures at events. And if I went to an event, I took 20 pictures on a Friday. I posted them Friday night, and Saturday morning, everybody in that group would see all the photos in the feed. And then on Saturday, I'm taking pictures, and people are then noticing me, and hey, that's the guy taking pictures yesterday. Saturday night, I post all those photos. They'd appear in the feed. Sunday of the 3-day event, I went there, and people were like, "That's the guy that's been posting pictures for 2 days. I need to go talk to him." On the third day, people are just coming up to me left and right. They wanted to know who I was and why was I taking pictures. But I started with pictures.
You definitely got systems and processes in place, man. I mean, I love seeing you do your thing, and
Yeah.
it really inspires me.
It
But
was
hey,
purely accidental. I mean, I went from the pictures. Samantha had this idea, let's start interviewing people. And by dumb luck, I discovered Zoom. And we were doing Zoom calls for a couple of months till COVID kicked in. And when COVID kicked in, nobody knew what to do. It caught the world by surprise. And at that time, I've been hosting Zoom calls for 3 months. I was the only game in town.
hmm.
and we've just exploded. But Zoom is a way to get people together from all over the country. So if you guys are networking, use Zoom, communicate with people all over the country. Heritage has he's starting to now to teach networking, and he needs to communicate with people from all over the country, not just his immediate town. And if any of you want to get your business going, the rock stars that exist in the community, any community, are going to be all over the country, not in your backyard. So Zoom is a huge tool. Zoom is a huge tool.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, my second question. So when you started your group, did it start out as JJ Flipside Up with JJ, or
No,
and how did you come up with that name?
and there's two. There's the group, and then there's the YouTube channel. That's the YouTube channel.
Okay,
When the group started with 7 people 8 years ago, and we had a name that related to my first educational program, and we realized really quickly that we had to get a new name because the educational programs don't like people having a group named after their entity. So I think my group became Southern California Networking or Mastery Networking. Eventually became J. Oh, I needed my name in there. I needed to market myself. So then became JJ's Mastermind Networking. That's how we came across with that name. But when it came to the YouTube channel, we couldn't think of a name for the YouTube channel. And in retrospect, I probably would have preferred to just call it JJ Azizian. Pace's channel is called Pace Morby. A lot of people named the page after themselves, but a friend of mine said, how about Flipside Up with JJ? And I thought, because we're all doing flips. We're all doing flips. This is the premise of the rehab business. And so a good friend of mine who best friend's a Navy SEAL. I'll say that. My best friend's a Navy SEAL, and he's a great guy. He's in the group. His name's Bob. And he came up with that one day. We're just sitting around, and I thought, sounds good to me. Flipside Up with JJ it is. And our YouTube channel has been flying for about 5 years now. We have over 350 videos, interviews. We got, I don't know how many playlists. And it's great content and great value. And, people should probably subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is subscribing to scanning this purple QR code here, has them subscribing to the YouTube channel.
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Because regardless if it's real estate or not, Flipside Up with JJ, that goes right into you helping people brand or rebrand themselves.
Well,
So
and it's not just real estate. I mean, if someone's a photographer, if someone's a real
right,
estate agent, if someone's a broker, if someone has a photography company, you want to leverage social media to market your business.
right, absolutely.
And we have a young man he might be in the call, but he's in the group. He's down from the Bay Area this weekend. Who's an agent. And even if you're not even, especially if you're an agent, you need to market yourself. People need to know your name, they need to know your face. And with this, as we project ourselves, ideally we establish some level of comfort that people are now going to work with us because they know us to some extent. They feel comfortable with us to some extent. And that just means that we got to get comfortable in front of the camera, whoever you guys are. Carmelia's daughter, Alexis, has really been amazing. Alexis Morgan, if you guys aren't familiar with the young lady's name, she speaks all over the country. She's very comfortable in front of a camera. She's very comfortable in front of a group. But not everyone's born knowing how to do this. So this comes with practice. This comes with repetition and knowing what your focus is and where you're going. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
All right, Rob, thank you for coming on. Hey, it's great to see you in Southern California this past weekend, coming down for the event. Rob, you set the example of don't wear black. He wore this unbelievably beautiful suit on Saturday. You could see him a mile away. He really marketed himself, and he did excellent. Thank you so much for coming out, my friend.
Yeah, I had a blast, man. Thanks a lot.
Guys, this is Money Rob. Don't ask how, ask how to be. We love you, Rob. Talk to you
Take
later.
care, bro.
Sophia, how are you, my dear? Good to see you.
Quick question. So if someone has Facebook and Instagram, I think you said have the same
Photo.
name, right?
Same name,
Name,
same photo.
photo, same, what do you call that? Handle or whatever?
Yeah, well, for continuity of presentation across all social media platforms.
Okay. Second question. I don't know if this has ever been addressed on any other like real estate platform or social media talk, but I've come across some people who have concerns about social media
Oh yeah,
that have unique situations, whereas safety is an issue for them. So
huge.
how do you go about that? Or what's your take on that?
Well, whatever we do, we need to be safe. And if we put ourselves out there to engage with other people, we need to know who we're engaging with. So
Mm,
one of the things I talk about all the time with our social media presence is if we're going to accept a friend request or send a friend request, if you're going to send one, add a message, introduce yourself, right? If someone's going to send me a message, excuse me, someone's going to send me a friend request, add a message and introduce yourself. Don't leave me wondering, who are you? Why are you adding me? Where did you come from? What do we have in common? How do you know me? I know nothing about you. No, I'm not going to accept this. Provide that message. Hi, my name's JJ. I'm from Southern California. I'm a real estate investor. I'm in Pace Morby Sub 2 community. I may believe you may be as well. I'm looking to add you to build my real estate network of investors.
mm,
Here's my number. Can I please have your number? When you send a message like that with your friend request, they're going to accept your friend request. But most importantly, whether you're adding people, and particularly if you're accepting people, you need to get someone's number. It does you no good to add people to your friends if you don't get to know them. You need to know, do they resonate with you? Do you resonate with them? Um, you need to get to know them. You need to get to know people before you do business with them. And that comes from conversation, that comes from vetting. We have a networking group. So in our group, we're always having meetings, we're always getting acquainted, we're always sharing numbers, we're always engaging with others, we're getting to know one another. And there's, a lot of people that are very regular participants, but this helps us in our ability to talk to other investors. We can't get to know another investor until we can talk to them. We can't get to know a buyer or a seller unless we resonate with them. How do we practice resonation? By talking to another investor? How do we resonate with an investor? We need to talk about topics that allow us to get to know one another. And what we want to talk about when we're getting to know another investor is the acronym FORD, like the automobile: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Let's see what we have in common. Do I feel like I know you? Do you feel like you know me? Do we have things we can talk about? Do I resonate with you? Do you resonate with me? It takes time to get to know people. And that means as we're building our relationships, as we're building our networks, as we're building out our friends list, we need to get to know the people we're adding. Otherwise, what value does our friends list have? And the answer is absolutely zero.
mhm,
So we need to vet people, and we need to vet them like by taking the effort to get to know them. And of course, if we're going to do business and we don't really know them, ask for references. Who have they worked with? Show us what you've worked on.
mhm,
And the one thing I'm always going to say as far as protecting ourselves, trust absolutely no one. Trust no one. Have an attorney to review all your documents. Make sure everything's in writing. Don't go on any verbal promise. If someone wants you in second position, sure, put your private residence, the deed, into my name
mhm,
to protect me as a second position lender. But just don't promise me with a note of good faith that I'm going to be covered if your deal goes down.
mhm,
So yeah, we need to do our due diligence, extremely so. And that means vetting the person, vetting their experience. Yeah, and a lot of this is going to go as we're in the same network, and the more people we get to know within our network, the better feel we get for getting to know people. The more comfortable we're going to get to know people. And as we get more comfortable, the more confident we become in building relationships, knowing what questions to ask. But this all comes through experience. It doesn't come by walking in the door. It doesn't come by joining an educational group.
mhm. Have you ever experienced like your Facebook getting hacked? I know it's happened to me a couple of times. Any tips on the best way to not get hacked or?
Yeah, a lot of times people will not even hack someone, but duplicate someone.
Yeah, that
And,
one.
and so what you need to do is you need to keep your friends list private. And as an example to that, let me come in here, and if I come to my own page, I'm going to see all of my friends, and I've got 4,521 friends, right? But if I come to someone else's page, like let's say Rob Hattie, for example, his page is not visible to the public. All I can see are our mutual friends. So, do not let your friends list be visible to the public. And how do we do that? Well, I'll show this by going to my page. One of the things we do is on your Facebook page, below your name and photo, there are a number of headings. One of them is friends. Sometimes it's visible, sometimes it's under more. So I'm going to go to friends. When you come to friends here, got Matt Starr, Steve Soretta, some really good looking guys. Uh, on your own page, it's going to say friend requests and find friends. Let's come back out of here. Friend requests and find friends, and these three little dots. And you click these three little dots, it's going to say edit privacy. You click on edit privacy, and you need all these three things to be only me. Who could see your friends list? Only me. Who could see your
Okay.
followers? Only me. Who could see who you're following? Only me. It's nobody's business who's on your friends list. No one's business who you're following. No one's business who your followers are. Now, one of the things I do, and I'll go to my YouTube channel here. And if people are curious about some of the things they could do, come to my YouTube channel. Here it is, Flipside Up with JJ. And as we scroll down into the page, we've got some networking tips. And one of these tips, and I'll just go through them. What is social media presence? How to edit your Facebook bio and intro? What and how to make your friends list private? And this is the one right here. How do you make your friends list private? This is really, really important. It's a 9-minute video. Oh, here, 5 ways to engage a post to maximize your visibility. How to work through middle life meetup. How to customize URL for your Facebook page. Being visible, don't wear black. You need to stand out in the crowd of people, especially live event. How to build your own QR code. How to do shortcuts on your smartphone. 5-minute video. These are awesome. Using your smartphone as a business tool. Relationships in real estate, building your business through social media. But this is my playlist, and I think it's invaluable. On the YouTube channel, we have other playlists: getting started in real estate, acquisitions, raising money, women in real estate, virtual assistants, short-term rentals, systems, and I've got of the 350 videos, 150 of them are Pace More. Some of Pace Morby's most talented students, the ones that are visibly successful. But this YouTube channel is invaluable, is invaluable. And again, you would go to your personal Facebook page to do the easy way, go into friends, and it says friend request, find friends in these three dots. Click on edit privacy, make sure all three of these things say only me. And again, to look at it again, I've got the video on my YouTube channel. But that's how you make your friends list private. And now another thing you want to do is Google has an app called Authenticator, and you want to download that to your smartphone. So if someone's trying to hack into your page from a third location, trying to
Huh.
break into your page, if you've activated Google Authenticator, they can't get in. And let's see if I could be able to share this here. Let me share this on my phone.
So you said download it on your phone?
Download it to your smartphone. I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. Okay, guys, we're on my iPhone right now. And right above the Facebook logo, I've got a folder there that says Google. I've got six apps in there. I'm gonna open that up, and one of them says Authenticator. It's the one with the 6 lines in there. That's the one you want to download to your smartphone. Now, if I'm trying to get into my Facebook page from a different location, I'm not at home, or I'm on a new computer, Facebook's going to say, do you have a secondary, authentication? I'm going to click in here, and there are these numbers. One is for Stripe, which is a different type of issue, and one is for my Facebook. And that number there, that 714186, is going to change as soon as that little mark on the right gets to be red. It's gonna see now it's gonna disappear in 5 seconds, and that number change. I've got a brand new number, and that number changes every single minute. So it's not like a number that sits up all the time and people have the number, they can use it forever, but it goes to your phone. So when you're trying to log in from a different area or someone's trying to get into your account
Oh,
and you've
okay.
activated a Google Authenticator, people cannot log into your account. And I think that's everyone that has Gmail or even not get it. Get Google Authenticator.
So you have to have a Gmail or not necessarily?
I'm not sure you have to have a Gmail. I think what's going to happen is if someone's trying to get into your account,
Mhm.
Facebook's going to say, "Do you have a secondary authentication?" You know,
So do you
I
suggest that? Oh, go ahead.
I have Gmail.
Okay.
Some people have Yahoo, some people have AOL. There are different types, but if you have AOL, if you have Yahoo, if you have Earthlink, if you have some other website carrier, um, and we got VAC pulling in here that any site that support. Vok, do you want to jump on in here and give us some input? All right, Vok, we got Vok Sombath with us. He's walking through the streets of Hollywood and Hollywood Boulevard. Um,
So JJ's absolutely right. Any application, website or application that you use that has credentials, generally, if you go into the settings, these sites nowadays support 2FA, which stands for two-factor authentication. And to JJ's point, one of the best and tried and true is the Google Auth. So you have options. Microsoft also has their own two-factor authentication. For me, I use an application called LastPass. Some people love it. Some people think there's a better. To each their own. But the point is that you want a few things. You have to have two-factor authentication. Number two, if you have several accounts, it's hard to remember them. So for me, like I have tons of emails, I have tons of apps, I have like several hundred apps, So I use LastPass that allows me to manage all of my authentication to log in. On top of that, not only that, it centralizes all of your credentials, just like what JJ said. LastPass also has their own authentication, so it's like a quadruple authentication. So you can't even log in to get to the master password unless you authenticate with another authenticator as well. You really, really need to double down. And you know
yeah,
what? You have to. People are going to steal every part of your credential and your likeness as well.
Mhm.
So there are other ways to kind of make sure that people aren't able to take your likeness, like your picture, because they can take your picture and then animate it, and then they can record your voice. There's all these other things. I can totally have a masterclass and talk to people about how to avoid these things. But for now, focus on making sure that any application that's on your phone supports two-factor authentication.
there you
Same
go.
And
with the computer, right? Same with the computers.
absolutely, and if it doesn't, make sure that you have your password that's not like 12345 or your birthday. I can tell you what, I've been
Mhm.
a hacker before. Usually I can look at people's high school, colleges, kids' names, all that, all those things I can develop, or people hackers can develop permutations to come up with combinations, high and low, first name, last name, middle name, the car you like, the color you like. That's how they hack into things. That's called brute force hacking. So what you want to do is use a password generator. What I
Mm.
typically do is I'll use a password generator and then load the password into my LastPass. So that way it's centralized because it's hard to remember. You have to do that. So yeah, many different things, but password, never use anything that people would know about you. And JJ is right. Hide your friends. Hide your info. Only bring in people in your network that you trust. But
Which means screen the people you're adding.
absolutely, absolutely.
Screen the people you're adding.
Your password, never use family members, kids, cars, like as I mentioned, because those are the easiest to hack.
There you go. Fox, thank you so much, my friend.
All good.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you.
He's a movie star. He's a rock star. He's living a life out here in Los Angeles. We love us some Vox Zombie. Sophia, did that answer your question?
Yes, I do have one other follow-up question.
Go right ahead.
You know, in Instagram, it has that what is that called? Where they know it's really you and it's paid, that little symbol on your
Oh yeah.
Instagram thing, whatever that is. So I did that. Is that the same thing with Facebook? Like you have to pay for that too, and then that's that says that's you?
You
Is
know
that the
what?
same thing with Instagram?
I'm not a big fan of that. I think some people are. I don't know a lot about social media. I know some things. Um, I think somewhere along the line, this is now that Meta owns Facebook and Instagram, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. Um, if you do link the two of them up, it gives you some restrictions. So I do not really say, have Facebook mirror Instagram or Instagram mirror Facebook. Um, I know people do like that blue dot because it lets people know they've got the real page. Um, I guess to me, the jury's still out on that. I think there's probably some benefit for that, but um, I don't know if people charge for that or not charge for that. So I'm not exactly the expert on that. There you go.
Mhm.
And Sophia, thank you for coming down for the event this weekend. Um,
Thank you.
it was an absolute pleasure to spend some time and get to know you better. And with all the times we've been on Zoom calls, adding the additional level of meeting face to face, it just strengthens our relationships. And
Yes.
you'll be invited to the home next time around. So we're about 6 months from getting that house finished, but it will be the party networking mecca of Southern California, if
Nice.
not the
Looking
country.
forward to.
All right, thank you so much. Darren Lang, what's good, brother? How can I help you?
JJ, I just want to thank you and give you a testimonial for the privacy things that you've taught me. Uh, I believe somebody tried duplicating my page this week. And because they couldn't see my friends, they couldn't get much information from me. As far as I know, it only went out to one person.
Yeah,
Um,
when people leave their friends list available to the public, that's when you're literally advertising, come duplicate my page. Hackers want to duplicate the page of anyone who's got their friends list visible to the public. Because if your friends list is not visible to the public, they can't send all your friends a friend request. So you need to keep your friends list private from the public. And then if someone does duplicate your page, you can go and you see the fake page, your friends that have familiar with that page and yourself, you go to that page and there's three little dots, a box with three little dots right by their add as a friend page. And when you click at, it says report this page. And let me see if I can come up with an example here. So let's say, for example, Darren's page has been duplicated. I want to go to his page. I'm going to come to his page and there's these three little dots here. And I'm going to click those, and one of them says report profile. I'm going to hit report profile, and then is it something about the profile? Um, Fake profile. Here it is right here, fake profile. And then you click that. Who or what is it pretending to be? And you would say, if it's yourself, they're pretending to be me. If they're pretending to be a friend, you put a friend. And what friend are they pretending to be? And then you put the name. Of course, this is Darren's profile, but if it wasn't, then his name would pop up as Darren Lang. And I said, they're pretending to be my friend Darren Lang. And then that way I'm notifying Facebook. And when you do that, Facebook will literally take that profile down within hours, if not minutes. It comes down pretty darn quick. And as you look at his page, he's a real estate investor, blue collar properties, where he went, the school district he went to, that he's studying with Pace Morby. He's in the Gator program. He's in the Creative Finance Sub too. Studying network and branding at JJ Azizian, where he's from, where he lives. Has his social media links in here. So and his friends list is not visible to the public. All I can see are 133 of our mutual friends. So his page looks great. We got name face recognition. He's got the family on the cover photo. You're doing it right, my friend.
I appreciate you and the things that you taught me for for saving that.
Well, yeah, and again, someone tried to duplicate your page. They were trying to get into your friends, and sometimes it's easy as them looking at the people that have commented on your public posts. So, there's things we can need to do, we can do and we need to do, but it's a matter of sharing information with one another. Guys, for me, there's nothing more important for my business than the people I'm dealing with. And that doesn't mean buyers and sellers, but it means my friends. The success of my business is built around the people I surround myself with. And And keep in mind, it doesn't mean just getting to know successful people, because you'll be getting to know new people, people that are learning, and to be kind to everyone and help everyone. Because sometimes, don't overlook people because they're new or they're learning, because the very person that you may take for granted or ignore may be someone that's connected to just the person you need to know. So be nice to everyone. And, your social media presence is not just what your Facebook page looks like, but it's how you treat others. And I know sometimes for myself, I can be a bull in the china shop because I'm like, we need to do this. But anything I tell people they need to do, it's for the intention of improving your social media presence, protecting yourself, protecting your friends and your family, and growing your business as best it can be grown. So if you guys are on the call, stick around. We're going to go do some breakout rooms, some live networking. If you guys have appreciated the call today, you want to connect with me, scan the turquoise QR code here, register to be in my group. It's going to take you to my website, actually. And if you want to follow up on the YouTube channel and see all the videos of all the speakers, scan the purple QR code here, which takes you to the YouTube channel. Again, my name is JJ Azizian. Please feel free to join my group. Reach out to me. Let's get acquainted. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. You don't market your business, you market yourself. If you're not visible, your invisible opportunity walks right past you. Um, you know, and be genuine, be real, just be yourself and good things will come to you. So you guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please put in the comments what your takeaways are, and come find me, network with me, and let's build your business. Over and out, guys. Thank you so much.